Not really good to line it up. Well, that's interesting because the tape is now turning round. You're probably thinking what I'm doing. Well, I'll show you what I'm doing, mate. Bloody tape reels ain't going round, are they? Get stuck. Now, why is that like that? So, I suppose I should probably explain what's going on at the moment. Yeah, this tape won't go round at this position, which is right at the end of where Who Dares Wins loads on my Zap Sizzlers 1 compilation. I found the loose tapes for. Now I know why it happens, the tapes are stored badly. So I seem to get stuck about here. It's getting further each time, but it seems to be stuck around here. No, it doesn't matter what I actually do. So, there's conflicting solutions, and they are mutually exclusive as well, for this problem. You know, press play on the tape, off you go, and then somewhere, you know, further along the line, the tape just stops. And it only affects certain tapes. Now I've had this. But the thing is, you got one group of people that say, oh, you can put silicone lubricant on it. And I'm like, okay. Which I've already done, WD-40. Then you got another group of people that say, definitely do not put any kind of like lubricant on there, oil based. It's just going to fuck up the tape. And I presume they mean things like labels, maybe the actual tape wound on the spools. There's definitely a problem. And you got a third group of idiots, obviously, who say, oh, it's your tape deck, you should get new belts for your tape deck, send it off for a certain... Yeah. The guy has told you, mate. He's told you it only happens on like 5 out of 100 tapes. And if it only... And he's tried it multiple times, and if it stops at pretty much the same place every time, then you can bet your ass it's not the fucking tape motor or the belts on your tape deck. So we're going to discount those people, because obviously that is not the case. There must be something different about that handful of tapes that I have this problem with. Who Dares Wins 2 is a cursed game. I've got 2 original copies, one never loads, one hardly ever loads. That's just like load error, they don't stop going round sort of thing. But the other advice is to like fast forward and rewind the tape from end to end like 5 times. One bloke said he gave the tape like a bit of a tap. You could try playing the tape like both sides, but if it's going to get stuck, then that's not really going to work. And that's the thing, it never gets stuck when you rewind or fast forward. So some people are just saying it's the actual tape that's wound onto the spools. Another crazy idea was stick them in the oven. Some guy said I put them on a radiator for like a day or two, obviously when the radiator is being used in the winter, and that sorts it out. And that did kind of fix the problem I had with my watch. It did dry it out, but one, the boiler's on the fucking fritz, and two, we've got a heat wave at the moment, so that's not really a solution for me. Although if this is going to be a complete bust, I'm going to put the tapes in the window that's facing the sun at the moment, and I'll leave it there because the windows are actually pretty warm. I'm going to say they're probably about 50 degrees, which should be enough if there's any kind of moisture in the tape clogging up the tapes. But let's give it another go. I can barely hear it actually. So the start of the tape doesn't stick. So I guess the end of the drop zone side on the other side of this cassette is going to be okay at the end, but whether it's okay at the start, there's deceptively more tape on these things than you can see. You'd think it was like 5 minutes worth of tape, but it's not. There's more than that. So. Yeah, I'm going to say the windows are about 50-60 degrees. And the sun will be hitting that for quite a while. So I didn't get this far before, if you remember. Night of 1,000 shit ideas, that one. So yeah, it's 3 ideas there. The lubricant, which some people are saying do not do, so that would be a last resort. And if you stain up the label with WD-40 or something similar, then it's not actually silicone that's on the reels, it's graphite. So, and there's no way to add graphite, so if it was that, then you're stuffed anyway. But of course one YouTuber alleges that it did work for him, but it took 2 weeks. Well, maybe he left them in the fucking windowsill in the summer and they dried out, and that's why it worked, and it wasn't the WD-40. You know, he uses something of a different brand. They're all the same. Can't have silicone lubricant as something that isn't an oil-based product. Basically it's contact cleaner. Either way, you know, there's no way to get graphite on there. I suppose maybe if you got a pencil that wasn't H, it was just B. That's what the H stands for, hard levels, and black, the HB stands for. You get something like a B6 pencil. Yeah, but then you've got the point of you have to actually split the tapes without damaging them if you ever want to sell them as untested. So I completely destroyed the discs for the Sizzler's version of Shadow the Beast, which on their own, if you could ever found them for sale, is probably worth like less than 10 quid including the postage. Excluding the fucking reselling cocksuckers, but anyway. Yeah, this has got, hasn't even got that far this time, so which is not good. And maybe if drop zone works on the other side, that's different. But I really need a reliable copy of Who Dares Wins 2 to play from tape. But this has changed the loader. I don't know why they do that. So it's not nostalgic anymore. This is sort of like the Ghostbusters flash load, turbo load. Quite an obscure one, but there you go. Yeah, there we go. So the tape didn't get stuck, but it didn't load. Last time the tape stopped, but the motor was still going, and it come up like with corrupt graphics. So peaked too soon, I believe, is the technical term there. So. Now the only person I know who's actually mentioned this as a fix, and he actually said both. He said rewind, fast forward, I believe. I can't remember that bit for sure. But he also said, you know, you had to put like lubricant on the tape spools. Novabug does a lot of, you know, tape game refurbishment. Here goes the whole hog, I believe. So it might just be that you have to split the tapes, put them in a different tape, which is not going to be easy because there's no screws on these tapes. If there were screws on these tapes, you'd find another tape. Iridium has screws on it, or is it Alicat? The one that's a white tape with a white label. So I might have to put a comment on one of his videos asking him about that. He's not anti-Mad Commodore like pretty much 99% of the Amstrad only dickhead community. But I don't think Novabug is an Amstrad only channel. I'm sure he's played Commodore stuff on his channel, I'm sure. Today it mostly is Amstrad. Just like my channel is mostly Commodore, probably for the same reasons. Your core fan base, and I hate using that word, is actually usually for like one machine or one manufacturer, I guess. I do it until. Now I suspect what happened there, the tape slowed down at some point but didn't actually stop, which affected the loading. So you had load errors. But the tape didn't stop midway, so I don't actually know. So and this tape is a thing on the spring, which I do need to play. Like Son of Blacker, we have to relearn how to play that bastard thing. I'm going to say about around 1985. I was getting 2 full price games a fortnight, 4 a month. Sorry, 1 a fortnight, 2 a month. I'm getting confused here. Give me a break. It's fucking hot, and it is the first thing in the morning. So what would happen is if I bought something like Thing on the Spring, I didn't actually have to finish it. Well, by the time Thing on the Spring came out, I could have a rough idea. If I had a printer, I'd print out my list of like the games I had, and I'd print them out in different ways, like by date, by publisher, alphabetical order, all that kind of thing. Date that I suspect that I bought them. Which in the case of the later games, once Zap had come out, it's pretty much like, because I bought Zap from issue 1. 85. I'm not sure if my dad actually owned the newsagent yet, which I bought that copy of Zap from. But we had a newsagent's 5 minutes up the road. We had a little parade of shops. There was about 8 or 10 shops at the end of the road. It's called Market Parade, which was highly ambitious because it's just like fucking 8 or 10 shops next to each other. It's not a market. There's only one side of the road and there's nothing different about the road. The shops stop and then the houses start after the side road. It's just how it is on one side. Yeah, this is a bust. But the tape is going round now. So now it is just literally a load error. Now... yeah, no, see... now it's going to die on a black screen. So now we've gone to squeaky tape. We've gone to squeaky tape that don't stick, but is not running at the correct... it's starting to slow down now. Really slow down. If it was bright enough, I'd try and show you on the camera. Can you see that? Now that I've got the camera on there, it's low, but the damage is done now. It needed to load in that area. Right, this ain't gonna load. It's right at the end of the tape there. That was we've got about 10 digits on the tape counter there where it's not going at the correct speed. It's highly important that the tape is going at the correct constant speed all the way through. It's a miracle that loading tapes actually works. And by that I'm talking specifically about Commodore tape loaders, but Crazy Comet's the fastest loading Commodore 64 tape game in the West, which is about a minute. Okay, is this actually going round? No, see, this won't go round now. Right, you can see if we can get past the worst bit of the tape. You only need about 3 seconds of the original leader tones for the program. This is where you should really have an analog volume control. Now, see? Nah, it just fucking sticks there, isn't it? See if that helps. No, it doesn't. See, blowing on the tapes doesn't help. Won't play the tape there. Nope. One guy said he used to tap the tapes that used to get stuck in his car on his knee and put them back in and they work. Along with fast forwarding and rewinding them. Yeah, that's not going round at a constant speed. It is sort of like slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. I can tell that. Okay, that side is even worse. It really does not like that. So yeah. I think one guy said he unspooled the tapes, hung them on something, let the moisture air out of them, and wound them back on the spools, reels, whatever you want to call them. But going on the internet doesn't really help, like I said. I tried the WD-40 thing and it didn't fucking work anyway. And some of the WD-40 will stain the tape label, so that's not a good thing. I don't know if I've actually rescued any tapes that have this problem, that's the thing. I can't remember offhand if any of these... See, I would rewind it, fast forward it, tap it, whack it, blow on the fucking reels, get a bit of moisture in there, but maybe the only solution is the one nobody's actually mentioned. You go to an art shop, you get a pack of pencils at a 6B or something. I think 6 is the largest. There's basically strips of graphite there. No, it's getting stuck just when the thing is going to stop. So yeah, we're going to have to stick this in the windowsill and see what happens there. So I'm going to fast forward it to There's Winds. I've got a working copy of Drop Zone, probably 2. There are certain games I never got round to buying that I did own back then. I did buy Dragon's Den on cartridge, but it never worked. And of course, out of all the, I don't know, 20 C64 cartridge games I've got, that's probably the one I really wanted to load the most, because it's the only Commodore cartridge game I had. I was surprised there was like 5 or 6 people watching the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning Night of 1,000 Shit Ideas live premiere. So which one's fucked as well, so it was Rocket Roger or Loco or Blacker one that didn't work. Well, this is Loco. If Loco did the same thing, we'll put them all in the window. Remembering that I haven't rewound and fast forward the thing on the Spring Wizard's Lair tape from the Zap Sizzlers thing. So. Well, this is okay so far. Anthony Ribizi Crowther, that's his middle name. If you believe that, mate. Tape reels look okay so far. Now probably what you want is the VIC 20 starter pack data set, really. They have they're just a better engineer. The one with the black reels with the fat white digits on there, and the black counter reset button, which is double the size of the VIC-20 one. Those ones from '84, they are the cost reduced ones. And there was a bit of a hoo-ha that some of the earlier turbo loaders that were insane speeds would not work on that tape deck. So anyway, we're going to have to close the windows, let Aslan in here, put the battery on charge for a bit. I thought this didn't load. Okay, so we don't have to put that one in the window. Leave that in there. Yeah, if I can find my CRT glasses, maybe we have a go at this. But let me go and put these in the window. Close the actual window. Put them on this side. Sideways they're working. As soon as that goes in, it'll be fucked. Maybe one day you have them. See, as soon as you fuck about with the windows, you're going to fall off. There's a nice breeze coming out in the slightly open windows. Don't worry, the tapes won't fall into the garden and be eaten by the foxes. Right, they're the tobacco glasses. That's no good for playing retro games. So I think it's either a combination of the tape itself. Where are my CRT glasses? Oh well. I'll do my best. Okay, it hasn't actually loaded because there's no music. Yeah, only pushing back on the joystick does anything. Pressing fire. I thought this was a joystick port 2 game. Maybe it isn't. We'll find out in a second. I'm sure I had a toy train that looked exactly like this. Black and red plastic with gold bits on the wheels and the fake metal bits on the chimney. But I think there was a bit of a dome on the chimney. And it was like battery powered. Right, okay. It has loaded successfully apart from the music. Keep doing this, you should be okay. Yeah, without the music, it's not the same, is it? Oh, we've got an error there. I don't know what that means. I think that's a bomb, isn't it? Well, we'd have to get reset there, because... actually, how is he doing that? Because it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, no, that is 8 sprites. So I don't know what's happened to the music, so... maybe we put Loco in there too. On the windows. So I guess this is theory number 1. Now, it's an important thing I need to understand, because I'm not going to put WD-40 on anything, bollocks to that. Especially not these cheap labels. It's fucking instantly tell. Tiny splattering of WD-40 on these fucking things. Now I know my cat is going to sniff them, they're probably going to fall behind the radiator and get even worse condition. Hey. But yeah. Okay then, other tapes to load. Where did I put Firefly? Did that Firefly here? Oh, we've got Terra Cresta. Let's put this here. See how we get on with Terra Cresta. There you go. I do like Terra Cresta on the C64. I'm not a bastard. A nice conversion, even if it's only half the width for the you know, the screen on the CPC, would have been nice for the Amstrad, because it's quite an important early game. Yeah, it's a bit like the PS3 had Gran Turismo. It's probably worse than that. It's probably like the PS3 having you know, the Metal Gear Solid exclusive game, and the Xbox 360 not. It was quite an important game. Although you could say the same thing about international soccer. The Atari, the BBC, it's definitely not a Spectrum, or the Amstrad, or the MSX. None of them had a football game as good as international soccer on the C64. Thank fuck for that. Now the Atari VCS did actually have Real Sports Soccer, I think it's called. I actually had that. And whilst technically it's not quite as sophisticated, I've never seen this S. Wahid on any of these like things. I've seen the other guy. Is his name Shahid Ahmed? The one who worked for Ocean, I believe. You'll see him. He's got like a very round face. Looks like a friendly fella. He's well spoken actually. I'm sorry to say he was the victim of even more racism. He is a similar age to me, obviously. Apparently where he lived, in like a council estate, like high rise I believe it was, there would be like, you know, scumbags banging on the door, you know, really violently wanting to hurt these people just because they're Asian. I don't agree with that. Anyway, but I've never, I don't even know who this S. Wahid is, and he did some stuff, not just loading screens. So it's funny the people that drop off the planet, isn't it? You very rarely see Tony Crowther, but fucking Jeff Minter is all over the fucking shop, because Gary Liddon, the little prick that he is he fucking dead yet, that cunt? He gets Jeff Minter loads of like loads of work basically. It was Gary Liddon who was dealing with Microsoft, I believe, because he was involved in Crackdown for the Xbox, or was it Xbox 360? I think it was Xbox, and he actually gets the introductions going, and so that's how Jeff Minter ended up doing the you know, the visualizer for the music playback on the Xbox 360. on the original like interface with a blade. Now, like an idiot, I bought Heroes Over Europe and it said, do you want an update? And I was like, yes. And after the update had finished, it had them stupid, childish, fucking Lego character 3D zooming around the place bullshit menus, which was shit. The old menu with the blades was perfect, but they had to copy Apple on something or other, or second, like, I don't fucking know, mate. I don't have any respect for Microsoft at all. They can fuck off. I don't care if they made the Xbox or anything. Halo is a shit game, and I don't think they wrote it anyway. They just spent their money on it. Where the hell was bloody Firefly? That's the thing. Ah, this could be Firefly under all the. Yeah, no, that's Druid. That's no good. So honestly, I don't know where Firefly is. Could try loading that, but there's more for the instructions that I need my copy of Firefly. Actually, I think Slap Fight was another one where the tape reels stuck. So I'm going to stick that in the window as well, just in case. It fades out around now. Yeah, this bit goes faster. It's going to come out in shit quality. There's nothing I can do about that. I've got no idea why, but lately the camera is having more problems than usual recording the screen. Be it day or night, cloudy or sunny, curtains open or closed, doesn't seem to make a difference. Ah, here's Wi-Fi. I'll tell you what game I haven't played in ages. One on One. I don't know if I've even put it on the SD card. I haven't really done EA's thing. But one thing I've got a spare copy of, like a loose tape of, is this thing. It's how much bigger than a double cassette case is it? It's about 20%. Yeah, it's about 20% taller and the same width as a double cassette. Obviously it's a plastic clamshell and it's almost twice the thickness. So it's more than double the volume. This one is mint condition because I bought it yonks ago before the resellers started getting involved, so that's the manual for it. And now it's got like a green tape. Great music on this. Now the thing is, even though I've got a spare tape for it, it won't fit in this case because it's got a nice like plastic tray. Here you go, see. Nalin Sharma wrote this one apparently. You love me talking over the music. Here's the bad news for you. Can't rewind the tape with that on, but that's a successful load, so that's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the tapes that stick, that being the reason why they won't load, or they slow down, so that's just as bad. And see if I can find a solution for that, because like I said, I don't think there is. It's very confusing out there, and some of the advice is very bad for the physical condition of your tapes. So, and if you got a compilation where basically, you know, you got one game on one side and another game on the other, then you're fucked. Or if it's a multi-load and you know, it's the levels on one side and the main program on the other, then you're fucked. So, you need to solve this problem. There you go. Yeah, this is a bust. I couldn't hear the awesome Peter Clark music, so yeah, this gets stuck as well. They could have been playing Terror Crystal. I know, but we have to solve this problem. See? I need a copy, a working cassette copy of all the games I had on cassette. It's that simple. Originals, I'm talking. And they must be in really good condition, if not, you know, mint. And this problem is the reason why you shouldn't buy like games that are sealed, because just because they're sealed doesn't actually make it better. It actually makes it worse, because whatever happens to the actual tape, either the mechanism, you know, the spools in the actual cassette carcass, or the actual magnetic tape media wound onto the spools, having it sealed in cellophane, it doesn't really help unless it's been stored in a temperature controlled environment. And if your tapes, you know, and humidity controlled, and if your tapes were stored like that, like your loose tapes, they'd still work anyway, probably. Now eventually all the tapes will fail because the media can't last forever and you get too much dropout from the magnetic media stuck onto the actual tape. There was an experiment with iron filings and some sellotape, and they recorded some sound on it, and yeah, that's basically what it is. And dropout is literally the you know, the metal compound, the magnetic compound I should say, that literally falls off. Yeah, in microscopic quantities, but it's like, yeah, you might lose a few hairs a day when you're like a kid, but by the time you're 80, you're fucking bald as a coot, mate. You got the Robert Picardo look. I feel sorry for Robert Picardo. If he didn't have that clown college male pattern balding, he probably would have done better. Instead of being stuck doing shitty Star Trek Voyager. Okay, I think we've rewound that and fast forwarded that enough. So we don't even get to hear the Peter Clark music, so that's an absolute disaster for this. Is Aslan going to be pushing the tapes off the window there? Nah, see, it hasn't helped at all. Squeaky tapes is the first stage, so I don't even think it got this far, did it? Because it's going to give you an error now, so yeah, that's fine. So that's another one to stick in the window. And then maybe we let them cool down in the air conditioned room. I don't know. But I think I need to get some of these B pencils. See, most people don't remember that, you know, there's pencils that are graded H and a number, pencils that are graded B and a number, and obviously HB pencils. So you need one that's B, which is sort of like sticks of graphite really, which might help if that is the actual problem. The tapes themselves are not stuck in any way inside the case. I can't imagine the case would be pinching anything. I don't want to slice open the tape and ruin it. Because Slap Fight is a game I did actually have, so I can't remember if Thrust loaded or not actually. No, Thrust is another one that don't go around, so right, these are all going in the window. Alright, Aslan, say something there, otherwise they think I'm fucking nut job talking to myself. Yeah. Yeah, that window is quite warm. I'm going to say 60, 55 degrees, something like that. Certainly warmer than the water that I comfortably wash my dishes in. So what we going to play, innit? But the camera's going to run out. I know. Sure it did load from the thing. Actually, we were playing this PC Fuzz thing the other day, and I had the original right here, and I didn't load it up. Yeah, I'm not in the mood for any more combat simulators, so stop asking about Ace. I'm just not interested in that one. Yeah, see, the tape on this copy of Jumping Jack is actually fucked. It's been caught in the thing, so there's nothing you can really do about that. You can try stretching the tape, but it's not really going to help. It's going to fail. So the only chance is if on the other side you can carry on loading after the damage section towards the end of the tape. Oh, that thud is so loud. Let's re-engineer the 6581 and fix the problem. There was no fucking problem, you asshole. Right, this is bad news, because this is... Oh, wow. That's no good, mate. Unless it was the other way round, and I was loading it on the reverse side. On the flip side. What does that fucking say? God knows, my glasses might be in the other room, actually. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Right, that bit of damage on the tape, that is actually right at... There's no leader on this tape. The leader of the pack stroke tape, it is literally just magnetic tape. There's like none of that clear blue, clear red stuff that comes at the start. So that doesn't actually matter. I thought when I saw magnetic tape it must be like in the middle of loading. Well, not the middle, but at some point. Now, I've got two versions of this game as an original. Let's get the one that hasn't got the fucking sticker on it. There you go. Whoa! Do not watch my channel after having a spliff legally in America or Amsterdam. I wonder if there is anyone like in a hash bar in Amsterdam that regularly watches my videos, but it's too fucked on marijuana to actually type, so they just sit there and watch my videos. I personally don't think there is, but Azdan is certainly not ready to sleep. As he knocked the tapes over, I didn't hear anything. So anyway, the other version is a slow loader, because there's much more tape on that one. Oh, you actually get screenshots on this. If I'd seen this, I would have bought it. You get quite a lot, actually. We're not doing the epic Sid music. That's reserved for the Ghostbusters special, which no one has seen yet. But we're up to part 2. Yeah, see, this is not good. But this is not a tape sticking issue at all. This is a tape loading issue. Yeah, the tape is going around. There's no problem there. So I think we're gonna have to try the other side. Yeah, well, you saw it. It just stopped, didn't it? I hate testing tapes, but I don't know anything about their history. See, if they were my own tapes, I could be like, well, all right. Maybe they're not stored in their most ideal conditions in the world, as defined by scientists, not pirates, just scientists. Scientists and Adventure with Pirates. I believe Martin Freeman does the voice of one of the characters on it. What is he doing over there? He's lost his toy. Don't go in there. Shh. No. Save it on the floor. Don't you knock in the tape stand, mate. So, yeah. I don't actually know how many games I actually need to buy. Because I haven't sat down with a list of all the games and all my cassettes unpacked and on, like, you know, bookshelves. He does go in there for some reason. He goes down there. He seems to find a hiding space in there. I don't know, because I look in there and he's not there, and then he jumps out there when I get the bloody McDonald's out for him. Cat McDonald's, that is, not human millennial loser McDonald's. Adrian, you jump in there and then you disappear, so where do you go? You can't go behind the bookshelf. Hello, oh, you were there. Alright then. Ah, you go under the bed from the side, that's the buddy. Let's have a look if the Fabulous Wonders in here, shall we? No. Boogaboo the Flea. Cauldron 2 can fuck off. Calls of Death. I bet that's a fucking text adventure. Full on Flying Blind. I believe that's something I said once on my channel. Need to boil wash those cups. There's a few toxic, well, I suppose they're seeds really. Yeah, this isn't good. This tape is fucked. But sticking it in the window is probably not going to help. I think the other one does actually have damage on it while it's loading on the tape. So. But that's okay, because I only had Jumping Jack as part of the value pack by Bo Johnny, which I still think is an okay thing. Oh, I found another compilation. Someone had handily put it in, you know, like a sealable bag. What are they called? The cheap ones, not the one that's got the actual zip on the zip lock. And they've put the 2 tapes in there and the instructions. So it's just literally the cassette inlay that I'm missing. Yeah, see, this ain't gonna work. So I'll try one more time, because we've got about 5 minutes. In fact, we'll do it that way, and then when the 1 hour limit is hit, I think we call it quits on this. But I've said all I need to say on the subject. So this is Halls of Death. It is starting to get hot, but we haven't used the fan in here. Now the thing with using the fan is, one, it sounds like I'm fucking recording these things in a hurricane if I'm not careful which way the fan is pointing. But the other thing is the fan motor itself actually gets hot and radiates heat into the room. And a fan doesn't actually cool down a room. It cools you down. It doesn't cool down the air in the room. You can have as many fans in the room as you want. You can move them around. But ultimately, the second you turn them off, the temperature is going to be the same. If you go in that room with a temperature probe. Temperature anal probe, that's only reserved for the most attractive young women who like Omid the Jalili lookalikes, who talk like rejects from Guy Ritchie movies. Oh, what was that film I saw the other day? I saw a film the other day, and it was sort of like a Tesco value version of Fargo. So I can't actually say to you, would you like this film if you liked Fargo? I mean, you should, but you might not, because obviously it's cheaper than Fargo. Is it meant to do this? There's no more flashing going on, but no, would have done it by now. Oh, actually, no, that's not good because the tape's still going round. That's a bust. I said enough on this subject. This very complicated subject. And certainly I haven't seen evidence that anyone has solved yet. There's too many conflicting solutions. So, let's try. I'm going to go with Who Dares Win Street. That came the closest to loading. Hey. Damn, why is there a tiny little moth on the thing? Yeah, the sun. So I put Loco on here actually because Loco was the one where the music went off when it loaded. And the C64 has been on now, or the PSU for the C64 has been on for quite a while. Although luckily if you look at Loco it has actually got screws. There you go. They're very blurry screws. That's what they look like in real life. Stop complaining about the camera. There you go. Who Dares Wins 2. Right, let's rewind this. It was either 67 or 87ish where it got fucked up. Like a fucked up duck. That was a saying. Let's go and see what other things we got on there. Hang on. So, give this a little light spritzerino. Clean the screen a bit. And that actually says found who dare. There we go. I hate the smell of Jif spray, mate. Reminds me of my OCD mother and her fucking industrial strength use of bleach all over the fucking house. I mean, there's clean and then there's OCD. I'm not that kind of OCD. My OCD just relates to risk. I suppose you could argue there's a risk of infection if you have OCD and you touch something that hasn't been bleached. I don't know. Maybe maybe a mild case of the shits. Who knows, mate? But that's the TV screen cleaning up for me. Now I tried to put the other CPC back together. It really didn't work. It's going to be a real arsehole to put it back together, and I was in a bit of a rush. Plus I've lost all the screws. I've got no idea where the screws are for that. So it could be a slight problem with that actually. And by slight I mean a fucking massive problem. But if you've been on the channel for more than 2 seconds like a click off cunt on the live premieres, then you'll know that's the situation with me. I do like to do the old yeah, dual use of scale of severity, I suppose. Didn't invent it, it's a classic thing. Probably from the late 80s or early 90s comedy scene. Never heard it on Seinfeld. Maybe it's the kind of thing Chandler would say because he is an annoying cunt, but he's a lot less annoying in Friends than he is in the Windows 95 tutorial with Matthew Perry and Jennifer Aniston. That's basically like a fat, disgusting cunt who looks like Jabba the Hutt, and I don't mean the original guy, I mean the fucking animatronic massive thing of the released version of Return of the Jedi, having sex with a prostitute who's fucking 18 and looks like Avril Lavigne. I don't know if an 18-year-old prostitute is... Actually, I don't think prostitution is legal anyway. So I don't think 18 or 20... You get the idea. Just because they got the money. That's what Microsoft was like. Huge, disgusting, smelly, fucking obnoxious human being doing Jennifer Aniston in the arsehole, I suppose. That's what the Windows 95 Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry demonstration instructional video, VHS video. I timed it perfectly again. So, have I busted another myth? I don't know. This was the actual least buggered, I suppose. I'm not sure if Loco, the music, stopped playing in game because the C64 has been on for so long. This again is probably because the C64 has been on for like 4 hours. The PSU, it is fairly warm and it's not a cool day. I don't know if I have another. Yeah, this PSU is pretty roasting. Yeah, so I'm going to rewind it on this one. There is another PSU here with a plug on it, which, although this one is a bit iffy and is the one I changed out, I'm going to fall off the fucking chair at this rate. Oh, there's the bug joystick. Ooh. But really, I need another lipstick. I need that. How is that under there? How the hell did that get under there? Bloody cats. Right. But you saw it, that loaded. And we tried many times to load that game. So, let's turn this off here. Now, obviously the C64 motherboard and accompanying components thereof is also warm. I suspect the biggest problem is an unclean, that doesn't mean non-Christian, voltage feed into the motherboard, I guess. All that effort just to show you world-class, best ever produced YouTube video of Halls of Death by Supersoft, 1983, Commodore 64. I don't know if I can have another roll up. I'm running out of tobacco, so there is that. This PSU actually smells like a brand new C64 PSU, that's a weird thing. Not quite as intense. There's not a difference between ground ginger and you know, powder and grated fresh ginger. Anyway, well, you saw it. Many disastrous attempts to load it, and we've only had it in the window for about 2 hours, I would say, maybe less. And the tape did not get stuck, and it got to the thing, and the game started. But then it crashed 5 seconds later, but the game had started. So that is an improvement. Now, I'm not saying this tape deck is in brand new mint condition, you know, component wise. I'm sure if I did actually have Time Warp brand new condition 1984 tape deck, that possibly may not have happened. But like I said, the PSU is roasting hot. And we did, you know, an hour and a half of like gaming, and then, yeah, that PSU's been on for at least 3 hours, 3.5, which I would never do. Now this PSU is cold. It's quite a fast loader. Still feels cold, yes. So we'll see what happens. Now obviously the tape spool reels getting stuck and stopping has got nothing to do with the PSU, because other games had loaded after that, so that wouldn't be a thing. So there you go. Because we loaded Terra Cresta and Loco pretty much loaded. Drop Zone didn't even get past, I don't know, 15 digits before getting stuck. So will I get to play Thing on the Spring today? Fuck Wizard's Lair. Yeah, it's not been that long since I've done Zap Sizzlers 1, so there's no point me doing that again. It's not like I've done any research or anything how to play Thing on the Spring properly. You need rapid fire as well on Drop Zone, and a zip stick rapid fire, so you can turn it off by the press of a button. That's the great thing about the zip stick rapid fire. The only negative thing I have about the zip stick is the fire buttons are square. They really should have done round ones. That is the only modification I'd make. Other than that, if it's in mint condition, the actual joystick mechanism is far superior to the Microswitch Competition Pro. Even the Microswitch fire button version of the big round fire buttons of the Competition Pro 5000, they're going to crash by the time I press fire. Okay, I've got the joystick input on, so I must have been crashing at the demo before, but that's not a tape loading error. Ooh, I get to play Who Dares Wins 2. And it loaded twice in a row, so this is a win. WD-40 is not the way forward, mate. You're gonna fuck your cassettes. I don't recommend that at all. So here we go. Basically, it's over an hour and a half of bullshit waffle and God knows what else. And yet again, I have a world exclusive myth bust. Here we go. So right, you have to remember this PSU is the iffy one. So really, okay, maybe I was a bit too much hubris there going on. Seems to be rewinding slow. It was. That's weird. All I did was turn the machine off and back on, and I didn't. The rewind was left held down. That's very strange. I do actually have more C64 PSUs all over the house, but nowhere I could easily get to one. And I couldn't tell you if they're in good condition. There's a lot of testing that goes on there behind the scenes, and there's no Patreon channel, so you can't go behind the scenes, mate. Don't even think about that. So now I don't think I tried Thing on the Spring. Oh, you saw it, that loaded, that played more than long enough. Of course, Thing on the Spring needs to be rewound, which is going to draw even more amperage from the iffy. So the one I cut the plug off to get the plug to wire up the cooker, well, the oven. Maybe that was the one that was in slightly better condition. I was in, yeah. It's not like I plan these things. Just woke up one day, I was like, right, whatever happens, we have to do this. And we'll have to go all Krypton factor on the problem solving as we go along. And yeah, the only terminal out of the three for the the mains wiring that was labelled was the one that was called actually it wasn't called anything, it had the actual symbol for Earth, so even more cryptic. The other two weren't labelled in any way, and all three terminals are identical. They really don't want you to wire it up. But when I was doing that, I just remembered, well, why are they doing this kind of load? This is very weird the way they're doing it, because they did the same thing with the other one. It's like found W. It's taking me right off track, mate. But yeah, I was like, doesn't matter. Live or neutral can go either way round on an electric AC electric motor. It only matters if it's a DC motor, and if it's going into an AC transformer to become a step down DC voltage, which you wouldn't do anyway, it still won't matter. I don't know what would happen if you swap around the negative in them, but definitely on motors it doesn't make a difference. So on Hoovers either. So the rest of it was the sheer donkey work of like getting it in the cabinet and then taking it out the cabinet because the instructions were 100% bollocks. Create a shelf this high, blah blah blah, as accurately as possible. The measurements were in millimeters. Turns out that shelf business there, the entire oven needed to be sitting on the bottom of the oven unit cabinet. Very exciting, all the bullshit chat, I know. But yeah, seeing as it's probably just me sitting there watching it, having some dirt sausage rolls. I don't know if I want any more cola today. It's gone quite flat. Really should save like one of those half-litre water bottles when I get water sometimes. Just wash that out, let it dry out in the sun, and then you can just keep that with the lid off. So these are all using exactly the same loader. Now, I don't think Thing on the Spring is actually as large again. This does remind me of Flash Load that Ghostbusters is on, which, yes, I don't know if I'm going to play any more Ghostbusters today, mate. It's going to be like probably 3-4 hours before I can use this PSU again reliably. Okay, this tape is not fixed, but then I don't know how bad this one was. What's on the outside? Drop zone, in it? No, Wizard's left. Well, it is rewinding at full speed now, so remember, I don't think I've rewound and fast forwarded this tape, so maybe you have to rewind. Now this tape, drop zone, this one used to stick within like 10-15 digits. So. Okay, so we've got to do the rewind and fast forward thing. So I'm going to say rewind the tape, fast forward the tape, repeat that process 5 times, at least I'm going to say, and then stick it in the window on a sunny day. It has to be a sunny day. Make sure there's no bloody condensation on the window in the winter either. But, you know, I was like, go on the internet, just do a quick Google search to see how you do it, and it's like, well, there is no answer. Just for that, I'm loading in lowercase. Screw you! I'll go on then, I will have a bit more of this shit, flat, chemical tasting Diet Cola. It's actually not that bad. Is there a copy of Ghostbusters up here? No. There's 2 copies of Infiltrator, but I don't want to play them. Yeah, let's see if Drop Zone crashes. So. Even so... Oh, this is an overload. Alright then. This is a relatively slow load, but no, I am going to say myth busted, because the problem I was trying to fix was the problem of the tape squeaking and slowing down the rotation of the spools, which will cause a load failure, or completely stopping randomly at some point between the start and the end of the tape. That has been cured. So rewind, fast forward your tapes 10 times, 5 times each way, and then stick them in the window on a sunny day. I'm going to say as long as the sun is hitting that window, so basically if it's hot. So, which depending on your house could be between 0 hours for any given room and maybe 6. It really depends how big the windows are and which way your room is facing. So I think, yeah, I didn't need to buy any specialist pencils from the art shop. Thrust is in the window, isn't it? Yeah, Thrust is another one that was fucked from the start. I think Aslan's found a teeny tiny little moth. Because I can't fucking see it. So it can't be like a moth the size of your fucking thumbs or whatever. I've seen a moth the size of a sparrow. That was in my bathroom one day. That was a fucking... That's like the ending of that film. With, fuck, I can't remember the name of the film now. I think it's just called Enemy. Anyway, it's the Jake Gyllenhaal film. I don't think there's anyone famous. And he finds his like exact double, who happens to be an actor in some like, you know, low budget movies that someone tells him to rent. And he watches them and he's like, yeah, that's me. Anyway, the actual ending, the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 frames of the movie before the title starts. That. Now, which one of you was out last night and which one was not? He's looking for something. So, yeah, anyway, I think it's busted. Do not put fucking oil-based silicone on your reels. Do not do that at all. The fact that it takes fucking 2 weeks for it to apparently work is probably because you've left them in the sun for 2 weeks. CRT glasses activated. Yeah, see, this game you really need rapid fire. Even a zip stick with no rapid fire built in is not going to help you that much. You need to blanket the entire screen. It's a bit like Defender, but if you use a handheld joystick you can't hammer the fire buttons. Which is why games like Combat School and Green Beret don't really work. They might be identical difficulty to the arcade, but anyway, they've all kind of ended up here anyway. Let's have some sound effects. So yeah, myth busted, mate. Rewind and fast forward 10 times in total, and stick them in a window for a day or two that sees the sun. Do not leave them anywhere near a window that gets condensation overnight. That's a mutant. See, when you get that whistle, that's when they're being picked up. It's such a large scanning area and I'm getting a bit of glare. That was my fault, but I'm getting a bit of glare from like the sunshine outside on my glasses. There's one going for that one. Is he going for this one? No. You can only pick up one at a time. Where are they then? Ah, someone's left a bomb. Oh, this one's working, but it's a completely different tape. So let's remember that. Oh no, actually, this is the other side of Who Dares Wins. Thing on the spring. Needs more time in the window. Practice recommended. What it should say is an arcade controller that sits on your desk and weighs at least, I'm going to say 3 kilos, so it won't move. I think that'll work. That'll work for me. Right, there we go. Where's the fucking thing? Ah, they leave bombs there. Yeah, you can only carry one. Actually, I can't shoot him because the thing I'm supposed to rescue is there, you see. It's a difficult game. You really need arcade quality controls to enjoy this game. Alright, so there's fuck all for them to collect, and you can see they're all in there, so I haven't lost any. So there we go. Oh no, that was a mistake. Ah. Listen out for the whistle. I can't see where they're Oh, that's a bastard, that one. I shouldn't have done that one. It's like 1 pixel height enemies. Where did he go, eh? Ah, see. Bollocks. 0 out, 5 in. So if I've got any more lives, which I don't, that's a successful test. I don't actually want to play Wizard's Lair. So what's going on with the other two then? What's going on with Who Dares Wins? Although I do have random crashes on Who Dares Wins on this machine. Let's try Loco. And there's all sorts of things you've got to consider. It's like, you've got to try different PSU, different C64. I think the tape deck is okay, but ideally you should try two that you think are good condition. And do that, I think. No, actually, before we do this, you tease Mad Commodore. Well, hang on a minute. So, right there, Lannikin. Okay, we've got a copy of Slap Fight Gets Stuck. Maybe it's worth rewinding and fast forwarding the tape, although we've played the tape all the way through on the drop zone side for Who Dares Win. But let's just try Thrust. Nice and warm like a good Sunday roast, mate. Okay. I think Thrust is going to need like a week. No, this tape won't go around wherever you do. However, this may be one that I sprayed some WD-40 on. And some people did say, so I can't say for that. I think Slap Fight had the same problem as. Yeah, it's quite a lot of tape on there. At no point does this tape actually turn with the actual data set. You can turn them with your fingers. I can't feel any resistance there. That's the weird thing about this. Let's do that again. Probably should have remade. Oh look, there's an error. There's a bit of a thing on this. Tape is a bit damaged on this side at the start, but I was coming up with Loco by Anthony Ribisi Crowther. We discussed that. He's related to Giovanni. He just doesn't know it. His mum never told him anything. You're so rude, Mad Commodore. Yeah, I know, it's classic, isn't it? Well, that's correct. Does seem to be straining a little bit though. Yeah, the tape does stick, but I think it's more towards the end on this one. Yeah, so inconclusive. However, I do remember Thrust was one game I really wanted to like get it to load, so I did spritz some WD-40 in there. There's probably a bit of gunk in there now. Now, if you've got two felt tips or something, you can stretch the tape as well. We'll have to try, but I think this one's. They did say there are some tapes that will they're just not going to work anymore. Right. The tape reels look okay. You want your 11s, buddy? Even though it's like 3 o'clock. No, I'm not feeding you on top of the C64 tapes. But this 1902 monitor is probably fucking will never show a colour signal. You don't need much for some reason. You're more of a night eater like me, innit? Come on, buddy. There you go. I thought you had a good sense of smell. Can't you smell the food fucking 4 inches away from the back? Crap. Tape reels seem to be going okay so far. They're consistent in speed and the speed looks about right. So Whether the video quality is worth a shit, I don't know. But this was about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half. I tried loading this exact tape on this side. It didn't actually load. But I think the music did play. Well, Terra Cresta loaded, but we're not testing Terra Cresta. That's for later off camera. We're not worthy! Nah, it's just I'm shit at it without rapid fire in it. Okay, it's fucked. Yeah, that is a bit fucked. Not the tape, the loading. Oh, hang on. No, it isn't. Look, we've got stripy lines now. We'll turn the brightness up. Yeah, see? Not too much though. I don't want to be on camera. I'm camera shy, innit? Don't look while I put it in. It's a joke about threesomes me and my mate used to make, and then I'd reply to him, well, why would I do MMF, mate? If I was ever going to do a threesome, it would be FFM. It's hard enough finding one beautiful bird willing to have sex with you. Never mind two at the same time. At the same time, I'm not inserting a clip from Office Space. Diedrich Bader and God, Ron Livingston. Yeah, two chicks at the same time. Oh, rapid fire built in. What a happy end to our testing until I just lost my life instantly because I'm shit at this game. But at least I get a chance to show you how shit I am at this game. Have the brightness down just a wee bit. Ah, come on, give me a chance, mate. I'd like some half decent quality footage game. They are fucking evil, everything. Come on, mate. Ah, see, you really need the C64 on the floor and pressing the space bar with the high-tech boots. That was the brand, not the technical sophistication of them. There we go, that'll have to do for now. Right, here we go. Fucking 3 speed ups at the start of a game. You'd never need that on Nemesis. So Gradius is a better designed game. Shock horror! But for the C64, this is a better conversion. So roundabouts and seesaws with a few swings thrown in for the ladies. Oh, no, they're gonna fuck you. But not like you're thinking, you man, innit? Ah, Jesus Christ. I ain't even got a chance to fucking... Oh, actually, we ain't got any power-ups that we can get yet, so... Ah, shit. Ah! Motherfucker. I'm going to go with Busted the Myth again. Yet another world exclusive fucking invaluable YouTube video that the YouTube cunt algorithm, yeah, I said it, cunt. What are you going to do about it, mate? Yeah, really, you have to... I think if you had built your own arcade stick and you put space, well, fire in joystick port 1 as you know, a second fire button, I think that'd work. Right, so it's not the PSU. So does that mean we have to try Who Dares Wins again? Again, please, no, Mad Commodore. Well, the battery's going to run out anyway, so it don't really matter. Battery certainly didn't get a full charge. Needs over 2 hours charge to do its pathetic 1 hour 21 minutes or whatever it manages. Come on! Right, these tapes must be rewound to the side that they loaded, so it's not extra money for the retirement fund, because I think I've only got one copy in this sort of condition. So let's slap Fire. I haven't tried Firefly. Maybe I won't play Firefly. Gans Teeth said it's a weird game, so it plays a bit weird, so. Quick, the camera's gonna run out. Of course I could lie and just put in the video description Who Dares Wins loaded and I played it for 4 hours, which is unlikely considering this is the PSU I took off C64, this particular C64 as well, and I used this wedge, like, well, it's fucking coffee colour now, it was beige at one point, and it seemed to cure the problem as long as you don't use it for like too many hours in one go. You got to give it a rest. Give it a rest, Mad Commodore. No, mate, unfortunately for my haters, if I play these shit games, even if I don't feel like talking, the fucking camera goes on. Now, I've got nowhere to store all these videos, so they end up on YouTube. But it's a real pain in the arse downloading some of them. I'm not going to tell you which one, yeah, anyway. That problem may have sorted itself out due to boredom of the protagonist involved. Just leave it at that. Just leave it. Now, shall I have my pizza? I don't know. I have to boil wash everything in the kitchen because there was 2 flies in there. So. Should I have? I should really cook both. It's too hot at the moment in the kitchen to have the oven on. It'll be hot for like the next 24 fucking hours. 58 minutes 33. 4, 5. Although I'm going to stitch it together with the other one, so it don't really matter. And I think that's like 2 parts as well. But we have got 2 world exclusives, mate. A world exclusive Mythbusted and world exclusive. I'm going to be fucked if someone's done a long play of Halls of Death. But anyway, can't really tell that at the moment. It's not actually that hot in this room at the moment. So, sit rep. Drop zone worked, which is the other side of Who Dares Wins. Thing on the spring didn't load, but we haven't rewound and fast forwarded that. Thrust is still fucked. The tapes will turn freely if you turn them with your fingers in the spools, but they won't even go round. They're completely stuck in the tape deck. So, it's a shame. I do have a copy of Thrust that works somewhere, so. For sale, Commodore 64 Thrust tape. Mint condition, untested. Sorry, I can't test tapes. My tape deck is too unreliable for it to be meaningful. It's still the same bloody thing. I did not splice in SD to AC loaded version. I may have shot a couple of soldiers. But, this isn't old footage. This is September 2023. There you go, mate. Always a bit of glitching, but you do get some. Right, well the bombs work now, so maybe you have to leave the tapes to cool down a bit sometimes. But Thrust is still fucked, and there is no repair for some tapes that are stuck from the very beginning. Maybe that's not a solution that you're going to find. But things where they... You motherfucker. Got further though. And Who Dares Wins is a game I do have problems with if I leave the PSU on. In fact, Who Dares Wins might have been the game that I decided would be the reason why I changed the PSUs. And then I changed them again. I think this is the one I was using with Old Faithful because it still has the sticker on the thing that says top. No, it's completely fucked, but I keep that for historical things so I remember, because that's obviously what mine had. I don't think there's anything wrong if you got a C64 in 1990. The problem is if you also got games from 1990 sort of thing, like Golden Axe, then well, your opinion of the machine is going to be a lot different to mine when I didn't have to endure all the rubbish from later. No, we're not going to. No, I don't want to load it again. Maybe. Well, you got to remember that the guy left them on the radiator, which is hotter than my windows, and he left them for probably 3-4 times longer than I did too. So I think I'm going to go with success, because slap fight works, drop zone work, which didn't before. It would seize up. The tapes do not seize up. So the only one where the tape still is seized is thrust, and I don't really know how to sort that out. Oh, they started to move. This one could maybe, because they're not completely seized at the start. They seize after like 5 units on the tape counter. And then they won't work ever again. But I've not even fast forwarded this one once. So it's completely stuck there. It's not stuck in the middle though. Yeah, hang on. So I'm rewinding it a bit at a time to see if it'll go round. Maybe this is a good tactic. Rewind it about 10-20 digits on the tape counter, maybe 5, and then press play for a bit. Because it was stuck around here. Okay. I'm going to call this world exclusive. Bullshit and myth busting, and bullshit myth busting too. Triple value. Right, stuck there. It's okay there. Right, it's going to work from there. So, let's rewind. No, that's no good. I don't think we'll get away with that because that's 8 digits on the tape counter. You have to go forward 8 digits. Right. We're gonna have to do the special sauce for the ladies. On the kebab I'm talking about, obviously. Yeah, fucking battery ran out just as I was doing that. So here we go. Post coil tool cigarette there, because it's a big fuck you to people talking bollocks about this problem, because thrusters, well there you go. We got thrust working enough to start loading it. After just 2 hours. You don't need a boiler. Do not put your tapes in the fucking oven. You don't need a working boiler because you don't need central heating radiators to be going on and drying out your tapes, whatever, heating them up. You just need a window, some sunshine, which is a bit rare in the UK, but anyway, it's a heat wave. Get on there, start fixing your tapes. Now leave me, I'm going to enjoy my cigarette and bask in my genius. Now, of course, whether the tape loads or not, that's another thing. You might have kinks in the tape, drop out on the tape, blah blah blah. But the cassette reels are going round at the cassette speed, and that's your starting point for loading any cassette game. And this is the side that was sticking. I haven't turned it over and rewound it to the other side, which would help. But the tape might get stuck somewhere else. So, cassettes in the window, probably turn them around. 2 days total. 2 sunny days, very rare. Maybe 2 half days. They're still stubborn. Bit of fast forward, bit of rewind, and or play. So fast forward or rewind and play. I rest my case, mate. WD-40 my fucking arsehole. Let's turn the fucking SID volume off now. Now, of course, someone else must have done the revision 3 and revision 4 SID. And probably the revision 2. I don't know when in 1982 Bob Yanis left MOS Technology. But right, okay, the tape has stopped there, so needs a bit more time in the window. But I think I'm still enjoying my cigarette, mate. Fuck you if you think I'm a knob and I don't know what I'm talking about, because obviously I do. Insert clip of Terminator, not Terminator, Total Recall, 2 weeks. Is not required. And always fucking silicone lubricant. Don't fuck up your tape labels.